الدولية الرقمية التي سوف نتحدث بها عن المقاومة حق مشروع لتحرير فلسطين. سوف نبدأ ندوتنا مع فيديو المستكة من تحضير من تحضير اللجنة لهذه الندوة. إذا أمكن عرض فيديو المستكة الأول.
Mary, could you please start the video?
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
The first video.
Our internet connection is so bad. Şansa bakar mısın? Video paylaşmam lazım ve internet gitti.
I'm sorry, I think there is a problem in the translate to Arabic because they didn't translate, or I think there's problem, or what happened?
ربا راي عم بترجم. ربا سمعتيني؟
بس يعني
Hi dear. Can you hear me? Ahead.
Yes, we are interpreting.
Why they are telling that it's not interpretation in Arabic? I don't understand.
I don't know. We are on the booth. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Çok kısa bir aralık için gitti ya. Tekrar geldi yeri sonra.
Yeah, we hear the interpretation
La traduction du vidéo en intérim, c'est en anglais.
طيب الآن أطلب من العزيزة ماري عرض فيديو المستكة.
Now I'm asking Mary
قبل أن نبدأ الندوة
to start the video of the Mystica before we start the webinar.
Marie cannot connect to internet and the video is in her computer, but there is no internet connection in her. She tried to solve it now.
Kelly, ¿cómo pongo para participar en inglés?
I'm sorry, there's two interpreters to Arabic. Who is?
طيبة نتصور إذا كان لا يمكن عرض الفيديو نبدأ
So we can't represent video.
ممكن اقتراح انه يحولوا الزوم لطيبة وطيبة تعرض الفيديو لاحقا بعد الافتتاحية.
ما عندي انترنت، ما عندي حاسبة.
I can do it if you want. I can do it.
Now, yeah, she's
I have.
أتمنى إنه يتم إبلاغي قبلها بفترة، لكن رفيقات على العموم حصل خير.
Tiba, now I can share. Yes, because we have internet now. Mystica video, right? Yeah. This one.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, please. Bunu nasıl şey yapabilirim canım ya?
Ahora sí.
Sí.
Nasıl büyütebilirim bunu?
مناسب دكتوراه كبيرة إني أكون مدرس أصير مهندس ونعمل بلدنا فإحنا بندخل الجامعة سرعة سيارة رونالدو أنا بعرف ألعب وحب الكرة إني أكون مهندسة عشان الاحتلال اليهود لما يدخلوا البيوت أروح أبني البيت. أتمنى إنه نصير هدنة ونرجع عدودنا وننام. كويس أنا بعيش بحرام. نحن ما فيش ولا مية ولا كهرباء. ولا إيش إننا نشرب عطشانين.
وفي غزة بخير طمنونا عنكم.
جاية وشوفوا وجاية صدر شعورني.
نحن في الحرب بخير ماذا عنكم أنتم؟ نحن في غزة بخير طمنونا عنكم. نحن في الحرب بخير ماذا عنكم أنتم؟ شهداء تحت الرجال أطفال تحت الرجال شهداء تحت الرجال أطفال تحت الرجال يسألون عنكم أين أنتم؟ نحن في غزة بخير طمنونا عنكم. البحر من ورائنا لكننا نقاتل عدونا أمامنا ولكننا نقاتل. البحر من ورائنا لكننا نقاتل عدونا أمامنا ولكننا نقاتل. البحر من ورائنا لكننا نقاتل عدونا لدينا ما يكفينا سلاح وطعام وعود بالسلام. نشكر لكم دعمكم. نحن في غزة بخير طمنونا عنكم. جراحنا جراحنا جنودنا سماؤنا وجوهنا دماؤنا عيوننا أكفاننا تحمينا من سلامكم وعودكم كلامكم. تحمينا من سلامكم وعودكم كلامكم. نحن في غزة بخير طمنونا عنكم. نحن في غزة بخير طمنونا عنكم. نحن في الحرب بخير ماذا عنكم أنتم؟ نحن في غزة بخير طمنونا عنكم.
كل الدعم والمساندة إلى شعبنا العربي
all the
الفلسطيني
support to our Palestinian people who are steadfast in the occupied land.
بالرفيقة العزيزة يلدز تيمور توركان من
Let's
السكرتارية
see
الدولية
our
للمسيرة
comrade
العالمية.
from
تتفضل
the
لقاء
secretary.
شكرا رفيقتي يلدز، تفضلي.
Thank you. Comrade Yildiz.
Thank you, sisters from Middle East and North Africa region and the Palestinian sisters organizing such an important webinar on this issue. And so in the opening, in the name of the World March of Women, I just want to underline that we strongly demand to end this genocide and also Israeli occupation in Palestinian territories. And also it is important once more to underline that international institutions failed to protect the Palestinian people from that Israeli aggression, as they all failure to protect people from imperialist and colonial powers. And it is important from the feminist point of view to put on the agenda that the water and food have been weaponized against the people. This is also important issue as a feminist movement. We always keep in our agenda that point, and we see that the use of food and weapon as a use of water and food as a weapon in this war, in this unlegitimate situation of Israeli to be tried to be justified from the resistance point of Palestinian people. So Palestinian people, it is inarguably have a right to resist and struggle for their liberation, of course, like all other peoples. And also it is important that it is not a situation only against Palestinian people, but for the Israeli aggression cause suffering of other peoples in the region, like in Lebanon and Syria. So that is also important. This is not just an issue happening in Palestinian territory, but also it's a regional issue, and it's important for all international movements and allied movements to support us in this struggle at international level. So I just want to hear your point from the region. That's why I keep it short. As a last sentence, I would say, from rivers to the sea, Palestine will be free. Thank you very much for organizing this event.
شكرا لك يا عزيزتي يلدز. أرحب الآن بالرفيقة العزيزة نعمة النصيري عضو اللجنة الدولية العالمية عن جهة شمال أفريقيا والشرق الأوسط. تفضلي يا عزيزتي.
شكرا طيبة، وشكري الخاص على التسيير الجيد لهذه الندوة. البداية
Thank you everyone for organizing this event. Salute to everyone, and salute Mary, to Yildiz, to all the women who support the Palestinian struggle and humanitarian struggles worldwide. We are all supporters and in solidarity with people worldwide. We support We thank all trade unions who support free peoples and their struggles against the aggression. We all know that this aggression is a world war. It's a genocide.
الدولي الجنائي وفي المقابل صمتت
Not legitimate crimes. It's crimes against humanity. All international institutions are involved and complicit in these crimes, especially the Security Council. And how the US is using the veto. We all know that Israel is supported by the United States. All crimes that is happening in Palestine supported by
هذا الويبينار اليوم
the American authority. We want to say that resistance is a legitimate right for Palestinians. This war is the most aggressive war, not only in Gaza, but all around the occupied land. We have arranged this webinar to ask ourselves a question: what to do, how we can stop this genocide. We can do that pressuring our governments in order to take actions to stop this genocide. We, as comrades, we are here to discuss what can we do to support
وهو الأكل وهو المساعدات الطبية.
the Palestinian people.
يقاوم لم يجد إلا الصمت ووجدنا نحن نقاوم بما أمكن بنا. لذلك
are steadfasting in the occupied land. Now we will talk about all of these issues. One last thing. I want to say something to Abir Isa and Abir Abu Khair, our comrades who have suffered from this brutal occupation, and they stayed steadfast. These are Palestinian fighters from inside the occupied land. Thank you, everyone.
شكرا رفيقتي نعمة، شكرا جزيلا على هذه الكلمات العظيمة. رفيقاتي، منذ أكثر من
50 عاما مضت for more than 75 years
النظام الإمبريالي الرأسمالي
the imperialist
الحركة الصهيونية
and the Zionist movement
ولا زالت من أبشع جرائم العصر الحديث جريمة
have committed a crime
معظم أبناء شعبنا العربي الفلسطيني من أرضه ووطنه وإحلال المغتصبين الصهاينة مكانه بقوة السلاح والإرهاب
with Israeli citizens. This is how the state of Israel was created.
بلدان وشعوب وطننا العربي والمغاربي
by separating the Palestinian people from the people in the area or the region. It also to serve imperialist interest. The aggression have never stopped against the Palestinian people.
أرضه المغتصبة وطوال فلسطيني في كل معركة قوافل من الشهداء الذين تجاوزوا المليون شهيد أو أكثر
People.
من الأسرى والأسيرات والعديد من الجرحى.
There are lots of martyrs, Palestinian prisoners who were steadfasting in this land against all of the ethnic cleansing policies. We are here to say that the Palestinian cause is standing until we get liberation. Let's welcome Comrade Rula Abu Dahu, who is a lecturer, a Palestinian activist and a lecturer from Palestine.
The voice. Good evening to everyone. Good evening to all the women who, even though all the aggression and all the wars that are attacking us, we are still able to stand up and fight and resist for themselves, for their families, and their society. A special greeting to the Palestinian women, Gazan women especially, and Jenin women who are living the worst stage in our Palestinian struggle, the worst phase, not only as women, but also as martyrs, as children who lost the house, the safety, and everything. Salute to our people who is standing fast and who is still resisting, though it's facing hunger and struggle and genocide from the Israeli Zionist regime, and even from the Arabic backward regimes. Mercy to our martyrs and to all who are walking the path of freedom. We hope for victory. Through the video that was shown a bit ago, I assure that all the people around the world through media or TV knows what is happening in Palestine, especially in Gaza, of a genocide that is happening against us. All the scenes you've seen is enough to show you how hard and difficult it is, and how we are facing in every minute, every second for bombardment that is killing tens of us as Palestinians. Not only humans, even trees, the stones, and everything is targeted in Palestine. Everything now is under a genocide Nazist war. These Nazists, let's say, they are the Nazis of the Second World War. They are the students of the Zionist new Nazist schools. So they are nothing in front of what's happening today, in front of all of the world, and with agreement of the imperialistic world with America, the USA, and the Western duels. These white colonizers who are still trying to control the south regions and the poor regions and colonize it until today. And Palestine is one of the very clear form of colonialism that you can see. It is a struggle for existence, and today we are struggling and resisting in Gaza, and we refuse the asylum, and we refuse to leave Gaza. This is a steady vastness that proves our existence in Gaza, and 70% of our people, martyrs, are women and children today. Even if they stop their bombardment, their aggression, or the war drums stops, we will wake up on a world that is really ugly in Gaza, from orphanage, isolation, and more than asylum, more than or emplacement. More than 75% of schools in Gaza is demolished. Now we are talking about more than 75,000 child who has no schools for years to come. Even universities were targeted. 80,000 university students already also targeted, where their university were demolished, so they have no future. Now we will wake up to our reality where there's no aid, no cure, because there are 22 hospitals that were demolished from 30 hospitals, and all the world is watching. We as Palestinians are standing barefoot, without food, without water, without medicine, in front of all this war machine, genocide machine, actually. So if we want to talk about the title or topic of this webinar, the right to resist and the right to work, as our comrade mentioned a minute ago, we have to point out a few, let's say, lessons very fast, quickly, for this war being on us. First, the world is trying, the imperialistic world, America, the Zionist America, is trying to tell the world that the moment of struggling with this colonizer started on October 7th. We have to assure that the aggression or the facing this colonizers did not start on October 7th. It started after the Second World War. The First War One. The First War World, because it happened since Sykes-Picot Agreement. We are living in a struggle where they are forbidding medication, forbidding education, demolishing houses, stealing lands, water, and since then we are paying martyrs, prisoners, injured, and displacement. We are paying a huge price for this. So it didn't start from October 7th. It accumulated in October 7th, actually. And it was a stage where we should enter all of the Palestinian territories from the sea, from the river to the sea. And it's our right to liberate our people. There are no people in the world that they accepted to stay under colonialism. They all struggled and faced enemies, and they paid huge prices for this. And we have lots of historical evidence. We have Algeria, we have Vietnam, we have Latin America. None of these people who has dignity accepted to stay under colonialism. And it is asked and required, and it must be its right to liberate itself. And what the resistance did in October 7th, it's their right and it's their dignity too, and they must liberate their people. That's why Gaza, they are standing still in their land. That's why they're paying a huge price from everything, but it is their right to stand still and defend themselves. It is their obligation to defend themselves, actually. The enemy tried to ask to spread propaganda, to ask all the world to condemn the resistance, Palestinian resistance. This is our actually obligation to say where the history started since 1948. This is where our history started, when the Israeli Haganah and militias entered our land, raped our land, and since then we are struggling and fighting against it. And we started our resistance since then, and this resistance came today to put the right on the ground. This is, first of all, the very important thing to look at. Second of all, this war also showed realities that were not clear or camouflaged or not seen even for the world, and the world didn't see it or tries to actually deny, which is that this occupation is a huge lie, meaning that this army is only an army that is capable of killing and bombarding and not anything else. No ethics, no morals, no principles, nothing. This occupation is just a killing machine, and it is weaker to stand still in front of our resistance. It is creating lies all along all the days of the last days of war. They only created a Katiba, and we didn't see anything from the occupation government and its leaders except lies about the resistance and about the behavior of the resistance. In the beginning, they said that we raped women and burned children. At the end, we found out it's a huge lie. All of the world saw the difference between the behavior of the resistance with the in between brackets hostages from Israelis and between what the Palestinian prisoners are facing right now. And every person in Gaza who gets arrested from the occupation army, how they are treated. The occupation army, who is very similar to the American army in Iraq war, when they opened the Abu Ghraib prison and they treated the Iraqi prisoners the worst, and everybody sees it around the world. Today, the Zionist militias actually is doing the same, copying what happened in Iraq and yesterday in Gaza and yesterday in Jenin. They said the same thing. They arrested Palestinians. They naked them. They took off their clothes and took pictures of them and treated them the worst. This is the Zionist enemy. It lost its legitimacy in front of us as Palestinians, as occupied people who are resisting for their freedom. But today the picture is the image is more clear for the world of how this the aggressive of this occupation and colonialism, and they have nothing to do except staying or keep killing people. They are saying they want to remove Hamas and to take out the resistance. What did they stop? What did they kill? They only killed children. They killed women. They killed fathers, brothers, journalists, schools, hospitals, ambulances. They stopped the pipes of water, the electricity, and fuel. This is what the occupation, colonialist occupation, Israeli occupation stopped and demolished. They demolished everything that is called humanity, the ability to have a sense of humanity. They didn't touch or come near anything that touches resistance. They didn't demolish resistance. They didn't even uproot it. It's still there. We are very supporting. I am not watching. I don't consider myself as a watcher, and I don't try to condemn both sides as these people who calls for peaceful. I cannot be like them. We cannot equalize between the slayer and the slayed. We are a people who are trying to get rid of the colonialism and to get our freedom. We are standing in front a rapist who is trying to uproot our freedom. We are here to struggle against this occupation to gain our freedom. So this is about the lies that started with the war. So the most important, that the image never was clear enough, though it is contradiction about how everybody in the enemy is speaking about in America and Europe, who follows America, because Europe is a small midget that follows the American policies, except a few little, some countries or some individuals here and there. But we all saw the amount of the behavior, the bad behavior that is the Palestinians are facing and treated by even the resistance, and the humanitarian are being attacked in France, Germany, and everybody, and through their support. They were attacked when they were giving support everywhere. And of course, our enemies are very obvious, the imperialistic, the Zionism, and the backwardness, the Arabic backwardness, because unfortunately, some Arabs are sharing this enemy, during this enemy's camp, their vision and their war against us. After 67 days of war, what do we have? We have more than 1,800,000 Palestinians who are displaced without a shelter in Palestine. Anyway, half of the houses in Gaza was demolished, and a huge amount of it is partially demolished, so it needs restructuring. It needs so people are in the outside, and now we have winter. There are rains. People, their tents are drowning. Even not only them, and even though these people are refusing displacement, they are refusing to leave Gaza. And this is a message to all of the world that today, more than any time, as Palestinians, we are staying on this land. It is our right. Our right is to resist. Our right to fight. We will steadfastness until the end. Even if we have only one child left, we will still fight until our freedom. There is no way as Palestinians to survive here or to live on this land without freedom, and this freedom will not come with stupid agreements here and there. Part of the Palestinian leadership tried some agreements like Oslo. What did we get? More of killing, more of settlements, illegal settlements, more of extremist Zionisms, and more of repression on our people. Today we have no choice, no path except resistance, and this is our right. This is our legitimate right for any people. It's the right for any people, and this is not what we're asking from the world. We are not waiting for the world to give us the green light, whether America or their allies. We don't ask them for our right. We pay the price for this freedom from our blood, from our flesh, from our hopes, from our future, our life, everything. We put these sacrifices, painful sacrifices today, to give full generations that follow us to enjoy freedom and life. This collective and individual death and sacrifice for each and every one of us is for the end, at the end, to liberate Palestine from river to the sea. In the coming day, just 1 minute, if my time is finished. Continue, comrade. It's a technical issue. At the end, this is what we have today. What do we have on the ground? We have there is lots of trying to save the Israeli entity, the occupying entity, after its image was shaken. But Gaza and the Palestinian resistance said it. Gaza will be the graveyard for these enemies, for these colonizers. Today, USA is trying with all its power to save this defeated entity, but though it's the strongest army, it's the strongest intelligence, they have the strongest techniques, security techniques, and all their everything logistically and financially and everything of support they get, but still this entity is broken and is defeated. Every day they have losses and they try not to show it, but they claim they are democracy in the Middle East, as they claimed for tens of years. Today it is putting a huge security on its own media, Israeli media, where the media is not allowed to speak about their losses, their numbers of killed, number of injured, number of tanks that are destroyed. There is a huge shadow ban or on all their media, and they don't allow it to show. The resistance, as you saw, not according to what I say, go back to everything you saw from the resistance, a group of young people who are simple, poor, who are wearing sport pants and slippers, fighting, and they come out of tunnels naked. They fight with all of their strength, and we saw these scenes, and they'd never hidden them, even with a very simple and humble fighting strategies, and even are locally produced and made, as all the analysis and all the experts who knows army and weapon things, they said they are facing a huge army. These simple, humble resistance is facing the biggest army in the world, supported by all the American boot camp. And with all the hatred they have against our people, they make their criminal Netanyahu leader try to cover their crimes and get over them. And as a minister, as a prime minister, to try to create more demolishing and more bombardment, as if he's trying to save himself. If he kills more Palestinians, or if he destroys more hospitals and schools or ambulances, or kills journalists that he thinks he can kill the truth, but the truth is everywhere in the whole world, because we are people that fight for our freedom, and this is a genocide that is being done against us. And at this moment, when I'm speaking to you, there is the security personnel, the American security personnel is in a visit to Israel, and he has a message telling the Israelis, oh, kill, hit, but indicate points where we can clarify globally these points, and make excuses about them, even in the Security Council that is useless, sorry, that has nothing to do, who cannot put on ground its resolutions. They couldn't even justify these crimes. Only the USA can justify these crimes, apparently. So what's coming is very clear, is what the Palestinian resistance announced, and this is our situation, this is our position. The aggression against Gaza must stand. This genocide must stop. Gaza has the right to live without blockade, because Gaza since for 17 years, it lived a very bad blockade, a very aggressive blockade. There was no chances for medicine. There was no chances to get out of Gaza to get medication, and for the chances of living, the future in front of the youth was closed. There is no employment, there is no economy. This was the right for the resistance to break this blockade. So we asked for what is required is to stop the war, to finish the blockade, and what we want is a Palestinian state. We want a Palestinian state. We deserve freedom. We are a people that put sacrifices, and we don't ask sacrifices. So today, these are our requests. We deserve our freedom, to close the prisons and clear them from all prisoners, since we have since 7th of October there was 5,000 prisoners. Now we are close to 7,000 something prisoners. Lots of them are from Gaza. No one knows their destiny. No one knows what will happen to them. They arrested women from Gaza. One of the women, for example, had a baby, an infant who was breastfeeding. They arrested her. They attacked them. They didn't even respect their clothes as hijabi women who wears the Muslim dress. They took off their hijab. They hid them. They tighten them, and there is really very difficult situation that the prisoners are living under. But I focus on women because it's very special, and they're facing the worst, and women in particular are paying a huge price. first of all, the hugest number of martyrs. The houses is more affecting women, but which is their whole world, but even the babies inside their mom's wombs, the infants inside mom's wombs were killed, even in what? Yes, in front of Kamal Adwan Hospital. For clarity, there was infants inside their moms' wombs who were killed and targeted. This is part of the genocide that the occupation is attacking on us, or holding on us. They want us to surrender, but we will not. And they know that the womb of these women is what gives this life and gives us back our children. That's why it is targeted. The wombs are targeted because it's the resource or the source of our life. Now, the situation of prisoners, and especially women prisoners in prisons, is very difficult. Now, there's another genocide that is happening in Jenin camp in the city of Jenin. The blockade on the camp is still happening. There is bombardment from airplanes still happening. Martyrs every day. The streets were demolished. Houses were demolished. Arresting, and also practices of more than a war crime, these practices as international law defines it, but according to prisoners who hitting, torturing, and everything in Jenin, to a father to hold his son because ambulances cannot reach them to the hospital, where the child died in between his hands, his father's hands. You can see it on a video where the journalist published it. This is what's happening in Palestine. It's a genocide that is being held on our people. In the return, there's a strong resistance, powerful resistance that has the will, a huge will, and they have a dignity and a lot. And there is a people that stands with power despite all of this abuse and these crimes. There are people that simply wants freedom, who is seeking it and is giving sacrifice, and we will get this freedom. Thank you all. Thank you, Rula.
Thank you,
A
everyone.
huge greet, and the
Victory
victory is soon. Long live our resistance,
is
long live
coming.
your
Long live
struggle,
the Palestinian.
and we are sure that the victory is soon. And we say that occupation is a patriarchal action, but the resisting against occupation is feminist. So we have to struggle against this occupation so Palestine can reach the freedom to regain their lands and everything, so we can have the right for Palestinians to live. Now we go to our comrade from Tunis, Rashida, neighbor, law professor, and feminist activist. Go ahead. Go ahead, comrade.
رشيدة تسمعيني؟
Can you hear me? Rashida, comrade Rashida, we can't hear you. You are muted. Can you hear me now? Thank you. Thank you for this chance.
تنسيقية المسيرة
This very
العالمية
important chance that World March Women have given us,
الجهوية على مستوى منطقة شمال
and
أفريقيا
also the regional
على هذا اللقاء
secretary for MENA region. We thank you for this important meeting that we all are in a need of this meeting.
في بداية هذه الكلمة
First of all, I want to greet and
المناضلة رولا أبو دحو التي فعلا
Comrade Rula Abu Daho
ومن خلالها كل المناضلات
and
الفلسطينيات
all Palestinian fighters
الشعب
and
الفلسطيني
Palestinian people.
انطلق مما ذكرته
And I will start
أختنا
from
رفيقة
what she have said
عندما قالت
when
أن
she
في
said that
الحقيقة هذه الحرب لم تنطلق في 7 من
this
أكتوبر
war was not
بل هي
did not start on the 7th of October. It started since 1948 when this occupation was, when the Israeli state was established. But what has changed since the 7th of October? You can say that this is a turning point that the Palestinian revolution and the Palestinian struggle has witnessed.
دائما فيها يعني موقف دفاعي بينما الذي الآن الشعب الفلسطيني هو حركة تحرر على
Because
شاكلة حركات
the
التحرر
Palestinian
في
struggle
القرن
and
والنقلة النوعية الحاصلة
it's not
حسب
a
دراسة
reaction of
أن منذ 7 أكتوبر الشعب الفلسطيني يقوم
this is a turning point because since the 7th of October the Palestinian resistance are solely
مهم جدا
fighting the Israeli occupation. We need
وهذه
to
نقلة نوعية مهمة جدا ضد احتلال
say that this is really important.
75 سنة من
As I just
الاحتلال
mentioned,
ومن التشريد
it's
ومن
75 years of murder
والمحطات هذا
uh,
التشريد والتقتيل كثيرة وكثيرة
and
لا
aggression.
فائدة في العودة إليها ولكن رغم ذلك
Despite all of this, the Palestinian people
الشعب الفلسطيني لا زال
are still fighting, are still
متشبث
steadfasting,
بحقه في
and
أرضه
believe in their right to exist
في
in this
دولته
land,
وحتى وإن كان في بعض الأحيان لا يملك من ذلك
even
إلا
though
هذا المفتاح
they
هذا
don't have
المفتاح الرزيز
anything, it's
الذي
only
فعلا
this key.
يعني هو يعني يحيلنا على أن العودة
The intention for liberation.
هو يعني يعني هدف سوف يصل إليه هذا الشعب. قلت
While liberation is a goal
من
that will be
أكتوبر
achieved by the Palestinian
نقلة
resistance.
نقلة نوعية بالنسبة لحركة
Again,
الشعب
it's a
ولكن
turning
أيضا نقلة
point
نوعية
for
على مستوى
Palestinian resistance,
العالمي على
not only for the
احتلال
Palestinian
العالم
resistance,
الذي
but
كان في الحقيقة
also for
خلال
the whole
خلال
world.
السنوات الأخيرة كان يعيش في الحقيقة نوع من التخدير
While
يعني
the world was
التخدير
living
الإنساني هو
in
مخدر
a
من طرف
situation
وسائل الإعلام سيطر عليها اللوبيات
where
التي
imperialist lobbies
إسرائيل
are
وتساند
controlling the media and controlling everything.
كان بمثابة الاستفاقة ويعني فتح هذا العالم أعينه على هذا الواقع
It's the point when all the world is standing up. The 7th of October was that point. But we need to know that we are living, people in Gaza are living under a genocide.
الدولية لسنة 1949 حول منع ومعاقبة حرب الإبادة يعني كل المكونات موجودة.
While
لو نعود في
according to the international law, this was forbidden
سوف نجد أن حرب الإبادة كما تم
in the international law, according to Article 2.
من جماعة
The genocide was defined as
أعضاء من الجماعة إخضاع الجماعة عمدا لظروف معيشية يراد بها
putting people in
كليا أو جزئيا
really bad situations.
صرف تدابير تستهدف الحيلولة دون إنجاب الأطفال داخل الجماعة وهذا ما أشارت له منذ حين الأخت المناضلة رولا عندما قالت أن الحرب تستهدف يعني الأجنة تستهدف أرحم
Also targeting babies inside
نقل أطفال من جماعة إلى
their
جماعة أخرى
mother's bellies.
فعلا كل عناصر حرب الإبادة كما نص
All of the
موجودة
uh,
هنا لماذا إلى حد هذه
genocide
الأمم المتحدة لم تصنف ما يجري
items that was mentioned in the international law says that this is a genocide, but until now it was not even described as a genocide according to the United Nations. The other thing
أيضا هناك فيما يتعلق بتقتيل الأرمن، وطبعا تم هذا التصنيف بمفعول
related to the massacre of the Jews of Europe, which has happened in 1915.
وهي التي تتعلق بالتوتسي في رواندا سنة 1994. يعني
and what happened to Tutsis, Arman, and the Jews of Europe,
حروب إبادة، بينما
it
بالنسبة
was said that this is
كحرب
a
إبادة
genocide. But until now, what is happening in Palestine was not described by the UN as a genocide.
محكمة الجنايات الدولية، وهذا طبعا يحيلنا إلى هذا النظام العالمي الموجود
This
والذي في الحقيقة هو نظام عالمي
says and indicates
التوحش
that the international community
هذه القوى ما يسمى بالقوى العظمى، وأنا أقول أنها
are all complicit in what these powers, colonial powers, are doing. These powers have reached a very high level of brutality.
التي تتمتع بحق النقد داخل هذا المجلس الأمن إلى حد أنه يكفي
The UN Security Council
أحد أعضاء مجلس الأمن الدولي
is involved in what is happening when the US have the right to veto, to use the veto against ceasing fire decision. And so when we want to talk about the international law, while what is happening can't be described as a genocide,
من خلال ذلك كنسويات
we can understand
أمام نظام عالمي أبوي، نظام عالمي
that we are under patriarchal
هي انطلقت للنضال ضد
international community.
الأنظمة الأبوية، ولكن ما اعتقدناه في الماضي أن هذه الأنظمة الأبوية لا تتجاوز حدود
When feminist was launched,
الدولة ولا تتجاوز حدود البلاد التي نحن بها، ولكن اليوم ما يجري
what is happening now shows us that we are in another
يعني له منزلة فوق الأنظمة الأبوية المختلفة التي هي موجودة داخل أوطاننا أو دولنا.
paternalist community.
بالنسبة لعديد من الدول في الحقيقة ليست هناك أنظمة أبوية تاريخيا، بل أنها يعني
there is no patriarchal community. These patriarchal ideas were sent to us and imposed on us. We as feminists, we have to support the Palestinian people on their struggle against the Israeli occupation and for the liberation, and also to support the Palestinian women. Not only that, we have to fight against all of this patriarchal international system that is allowing one or two states to control the whole world. And what we have seen in the General Assembly meeting, 53 countries agreed on a just solution for the Palestinian cause, while there is one country that have the right to say no for this decision. Now I want to answer about the question, what can we do? Solidarity. This is something that we have to do. But the other thing is fighting against this international system. And through World March Women, I'm suggesting that there is an international march on the coming March 8th or the 8th of March, while every single woman, trade union, and women movements to stand up and emphasize the right of the Palestinian people to fight for their liberation and ask for the justice of the Palestinian struggle and Palestinian people, and also asking for
وطبعا مرة أخرى يعني أعرب عن تضامني وتضامن النساء في تونس.
The third thing is holding Israel accountable for this genocide. We are asking for a march that is, while participants are all women. We have done this in Tunisia. We, the Tunisian people, the Tunisian government and the Tunisian people are with the right of the Palestinian people.
في تونس أنتم دوما في الصدارة. عاشت إيدك. رفيقاتي، إذا توجد أي سؤال من قبل الحاضرات، يعني لمدة دقيقة، الأسئلة موجهة تكون إلى الرفيقة رولا والرفيقة رشيدة، فتفضلوا يعني برفع الأيادي حتى إحنا يعني اسألوهم مباشرة وهم ما يردون.
هو سؤال طيبة أو تعليق؟
لا، الآن فقط أسئلة. المداخلات راح تكون يعني بعد الفيديو الآخر. أنا راح أقول أسماءكم.
I'm sorry, Tiba, but there's no translation right now. Is there everything okay with the English translation, Arabic to English?
I am translating. You didn't hear.
No, we haven't heard.
Now you heard?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, no, I wasn't on mute. This is weird. Okay, Tiba is asking if you have questions. We have 1 minute for questions, not comments, for Rola and Rashida, the comrades Rola and Rashida. Khadija from Morocco, do you have any question? Okay. Sorry, I thought we will make comments, so I will postpone my interaction for later. Okay, then, comrades. Now we will go to the dear Mari to show the feminist solidarity video, and then we can take solidarity words from all NCP. Please, Mari, show the video of the feminist solidarity.
Ciudadanía, electorado, como las próximas autoridades es devolverle al diputado el papel de representante popular. Diputados que realmente representen a su electorado, a los ciudadanos del distrito en el
للأسف لا يوجد صوت.
There is no voice, there's no audio, Tiba is saying, Mary.
Mare.
Mare.
Mare. Maybe you need to unmute yourself, Mare.
Sorry, Teba. Now, so sorry. Maybe now can you?
نحن الثورة والغضب نحن أمل الأجيال منها ومن عندنا انكتب تاريخ الأبطال نحن الثورة والغضب نحن أمل
I would love to translate this song as it says, we are the revolution, we are the anger, we are the sound of generations. From here, the history of heroes was written. This is basically what the song is saying. It's a very famous song for Julia Butros.
رح ننسى الأيام الصعبة يا الناس المنسيين كنا طول سنين الغربي لوطننا منفين رح ننسى الأيام الصعبة.
We will forget the hard days, forgotten people. We were all of our asylum years forgotten in our own land. Look, freedom, our happy tears. This homeland is very dear for us and you, and this victory is for me and you.
شكرا جزيلا ماري، شكرا جزيلا.
Thank you a lot, Mari. My comrades, now I open the comments platform for all comrades who wants to say a comment or a word for 3 minutes. We have 3 minutes. A solidarity with our comrades in Palestine and our Palestinian people. Who wants to express solidarity? Since the first speaker who wanted to speak was our comrade Khadija, go ahead. Thank you a lot for our comrade and our NCPP, and thank you for our 2 comrades who had speeches and greetings for every word they said. I want to say what is happening today in the occupied land makes us live the contradiction feelings as much as we are in pain and are sad for all the innocent souls that is falling every day in thousands in front of our eyes. It's a shock for the atrocities that are never happened before, even in world wars, never experienced something like this. We are shocked. We also, at the same times, we feel very proud of what the resistance, Palestinian resistance, accomplished. We feel like it's a historical steadfastness and resistance in front the Zionist army, where it was known as the undefeated army, with all the imperialistic countries supporting it. But now all the resistance is not just fighting for Palestine, it's liberating all of us. It's fighting against imperialism in all of the world, actually, and capitalism. As Gramsci said, the world, the old world is gone and the new world didn't appear yet. And in between, the monsters will appear. And yes, the monsters appeared because we're in a stage where the world is developing and transforming in a huge way, where the system is changing, but the new system did not appear yet. But today we witnessed in Palestine, and now we also witnessed how USA is appearing as a monster, showing everything. We already know what the imperialistic countries did in Africa, so we already know this, and we know these crimes against the humanity was committed in Africa, but now it's appearing finally again. But today, the Palestinian resistance is changing the world, and it's not only putting down the Zionism, but it's only showing the real face of the pretending countries of democracy and civilization. It's fallen, and now everything, the masks has fallen, and all the words is finished about freedom and rights. Today, also the resistance uprooted what these countries are claiming of democracy, and all the people are in the streets, but their systems and regimes are supporting and backing the Zionist crime. So what do they represent, these governments? We are in a huge transformation, and the Palestinian resistance is who is capable to change this world and liberate the people's mentalities who was really under the control of the Zionist and imperialistic regimes. Now it's very difficult for us to hold the weapon next to the arms next to the resistance, but we know what our weapons are. Our weapons for us in Morocco, for example, we have to stand against normalization. It has to fall. We have to stand against it, but there is an international also. She needs to slow down. I'm so sorry. There is another battle, which is the boycott. We have to boycott and support boycotting. There are Zionist corporations that left Morocco, and they almost bankrupted. And this is how we have to differentiate. But in everywhere in the world, there's also the battle of solidarity that the resistance, the Palestinian resistance, is asking us to do, to stand in the streets. They moved us to go to the streets. They asked us to face these regimes, and now they liberated us where we can be and exist in these streets as long as we can. So we have to stay in these streets, and we have to practice the boycott and support for the Palestinian, the boycott for the Israelis and the support for the Palestinians. These are our weapons that we can fight with, and we have to use. Thank you all. Thank you, my comrade, for these words. Now, as we take according to who raised their hand,
حتكون رفيقة
and then our comrade Saad, and then from
تفضلي.
Kurdistan. Go ahead, comrade Kauthar. Thank you, Tiba. I welcome all the comrades who are here today in this meeting, which is very important. This session is very important, and I greet all our comrades. Specifically, I see most of the participants are from Africa and the MENA region who organized this webinar, and there is lots of participants from Latin America as usual. Of course, they're in continuous solidarity with all of us, and solidarity is a lifestyle, actually. for them, and I'm very proud of them. As a representative of South Africa and the region of Africa, unfortunately, I don't see lots of participation from the African region, and I am very sorry for this. I express my apologies because these meetings must be continuous and must have lots of attendance, and this is a way that I consider a very important way of resistance to meet always in such sessions online and to think and reflect. And this is the second point that I will comment about, and that we are, for me, we are in a stage since 7th October where our solidarity meetings and the words of meetings, words of solidarity is not enough. We are in a mass need to think seriously of the ways of resistance. There is a resistance in Gaza, and we can create new ways of resistance. Most importantly, to have a network, to think together, and to know how to coordinate our moves and movements, and how to develop our and empower our power, actually, as World Women March for World Women March, sorry, and how to think as WWM as and or other organizations who registered their existence and actual supporters, and not only speeches for the Palestinian cause. And the most beautiful and biggest protests that happened in the world since October 7th was led by these movements. For example, La Via Campesina, the World March for Women, and all these comrades who belong to these movements. So the second point that I consider very on my estimation that we have to consider is that there must be a clear vision towards the Palestinian cause. For example, we, in the meeting of the World March for Women in October in Ankara, we decided together in the representative of the World March of Women in some movements, for example, the Social Forum, التشكيل الاجتماعي, World March of Women, the Social Forum. The World March of Women said that they have no existence in this space. Why? To let down the Palestinian cause. And we also spoke about and decided in the World March of Women in the COPs, because we don't consider this space a transformative space, or that this space represents us or our principles or what we defend. The clarity in the vision is very important in this stage, and the duplication of the speech is more dangerous than the Zionist enemy, actually. For example, we come here and we defend the vision, and that we radically defend the Palestinian cause without any borders or without any limits. And then we open another thing in our some people are actually spreading the propaganda that the resistance is only for Hamas and the Islamists, and that we as developed and progressive people, we defend the freedoms. We cannot agree on Hamas speech as a Islamic. This is very dangerous. This is very dangerous for what's happening now, that we cannot defend Hamas's speech because it reaches to kill the resistance and to withdraw the legitimacy from the resistance, because it's obvious it's not just Hamas who's one party in Palestine. All of the Palestinian parties are resisting, not only Hamas. And even if it was Hamas alone, me as an individual human, feminist, progressive, against any kind of religious movements or any control or for any country to stand or to be raised on an Islamic regime. For me, this is not questionable here. This is not even to be considered here, because Gaza and Palestinians didn't have any choice for anyone to defend them beside what is happening on the ground. Sorry for interrupting. I will not be long, Tiba. I will not be long. So me, I invite to us to stay and to ally with our resistance line inside our movement, and not to leave any way to duty in our or duplication in our speech. This is a point that I must indicate. There's a point very fast to boycott actually these fake organizations like the European Union and the United Nations, because we cannot in this session say this and this and that, but then go back to our countries and take funds from them. So these all funding NGOs, especially Germans, we have to boycott. Thank you, Kauthar. Go ahead, Saad. Comrade Saad. Greetings for everybody. Greetings from Tunisia and all women in Tunisia for the resistance of Palestinian resistance, all the Palestinian women, because what's happening here today on the Palestinian land is not normal. And now the balance is shaken of what is called human rights. Another time, these things and these human rights disappear when it comes to Palestinians. Instead of defending these oppressed people, we stand against them. And to defend the rights and the human rights is a huge lie, made everybody talk about it. And the question here, who is the oppressed and who is the oppressor? The Palestinians are the ones who took the Zionist land? Is this true? Did the Palestinians shake the land and took the property and kicked out the settlers, the Israeli settlers, and took their lands or took their homes and their lands? Or the opposite is true? I like to say this to our comrades all over the world. Zionists are the ones who are depriving the Palestinians from the simplest rights. They don't even have the right to exist on the Palestinian lands. Who is facing this blockade? Who is being kicked out of this and are leaving through ships from the land? These are people who came through ships and planes and settled in the Palestinian lands, and today and until the end of the history, this will be the Palestinian land. We don't want to talk about the crimes of Zionism and imperialism and their corporates on the ground in Palestine, on Palestinian land for 75 years long. We will talk about the resolutions about the for 75 years about Palestine, and they are talking about resolution in 1967. This is not true. This is not their lands even. The aggression today, it's a result of the failure of these agreements and these resolutions, and to create these small little countries, which is like a colony, and the state of Palestine should be a small state. And this is a failure for all of the humanity to have a little small, what is called country of Palestine, and it shows the failure. And we have to stand with the Palestinians, and people should go back and say that imperialism has no value with all the resolutions, and the resolutions are fake and they're nothing on ground. and it all is ink on paper, and the Palestinian people is the only people who is capable to liberate its land, and with its own effort, only its own effort. And the Palestinians should only rely on their own people. And historically, this was proven that workers are the ones who liberated Palestine, workers and farmers. And what is required from us as a movement, that we the World March of Women movement, to support Palestinian cause no matter what, and to keep solidarity, to keep protesting and boycotting. And this, for us, this is what the Palestine deserves from us, as we cannot hold the weapons with them and arms. And we should call for victory for their cause and ask for the right to decide their decision as Palestinian sovereignty for Palestinians. This is what we ask for, and this is the right for all oppressed people. And this is the last people who are oppressed in the world. Long live resistance, and shame on Zionism and imperialism. Thank you, comrade.
من كابير، تفضلي عزيزتي، لأن طالبة الكلمة، تفضلي. Chica.
Comrade Chica.
Can I speak in Spanish? Can I speak in Spanish?
Yes, we have
of course,
Spanish, English. Also.
Briefly, I would ask my colleagues from the March of Women in the MENA region and international, I want to thank them for having this space, because it strengthens our engagement for the Palestinian cause. Every time that we listen to you, this is an evidence for us, for all of us militants in the march. It was extremely important for us to receive the newsletter of the World March of Women, and receiving all this news about mobilizations against
Information de la situation et de ce qui se passe.
Ups, no sé por qué está. Y el genocidio.
Un momento, hay un problema con la interpretación.
Oui, on est sorti des cabines. On est.
Yeah.
Mari, Pinar, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you,
Yes. All is good?
Yeah. Tika, can you please proceed?
Yeah. Gracias. Entonces,
Thank you. Okay. So we need to, it is very important for us to understand that it's a strength that we have as a movement, as a group, and we will continue fighting till every woman in the world is free. And that means when the Palestinian people is free, till they are all free. And that is our engagement with the international feminism and with the movement of the women from the World March of Women. I am from Brazil, and we've been going to the streets, occupying the streets in order to demonstrate our support with the Palestinian people. We have also other kinds of demonstrations, small demonstrations. I am from Sao Paulo, but I'm not living in Sao Paulo. But I know there our colleagues met in order to organize a fight, in order to organize the fight at an international and at local level. So I want to say that for us, the fight for a free Palestinian is an anti-imperialism fight. And every time that we see what the United States is doing in this situation. This is seeing all this, seeing how United States is allied to the to Israel. This is horrible for us. They are the imperialist force, but for us as Capire movement, we want to support with our movement, with our efforts. We want to support all the international actions till we have Palestinian people free. I want to give you all my strength in order to defend life of the Palestinian people.
شكرا جزيلا عزيزتي. الآن رفيقة نائمة تفضلي.
شكرا طيبة. أنا سأتكلم باسم تنسيقية لبنان، لأنه قطع الكهرباء وقطع الإنترنت هو شكل كذلك من أشكال الاضطهاد
I want to talk about
بما فيها العراق ولبنان. لم تتمكن رفيقة تيرين من مواصلة الويبينار باعتبار قطع الإنترنت لديهم.
because electricity didn't have the chance to enter
العدو الصهيوني حاليا ضد
and say her statement. The mass aggression that the Israeli occupation have started and is launching on the Palestinian people had happened before in 1948, while more than 700,000 people were ethnically cleansed from their land. And this is what is happening in
عام 2006 الصهيوني حتى 10 من تشرين الثاني نوفمبر 2023 أكثر من 10,000
2006 Palestine blockade
وأصاب أكثر من 22,000 آخرين، ولا يزال عدة آلاف مختبئين
that the Israeli occupation
دون
have imposed on them. Was the sixth war on the Palestinian people in Gaza, while more than 1 million Palestinian people had to leave their home seeking safety, prevented from electricity, water, food, while the UN and the humanitarian institutions have said that the humanitarian situation in Gaza Strip is really worsening. More than 5,000 Palestinian people were arrested. More than 20,000 Palestinian people were murdered, and the rest are under
الإبادة الجماعية
the rubble.
التاريخية الحاصلة مقابل تحرك كل شعوب العالم دعما
This is
للشعب
a genocide against the Palestinian people, while all the world must stand up in order to support the Palestinian people in their struggle against the Israeli occupation, their struggle for liberation. We need to say that this is a struggle against ethnic cleansing, against Israeli aggression, against Israeli genocide. It's a struggle for liberation. Thank you, Tiba, and thank you, everyone.
عندهم ظرف.
Thank
بنعطي
you, comrade. I will continue instead of Tiba. She had an emergency medical leave. Thank you, comrade Abi.
نبدي رسالتنا التضامنية للشعب
for
الفلسطيني.
letting us
طبعا بداية نترحم على أرواح كافة الشهداء
express
والمجد
our
والخلود لأرواحهم
support from
المعتقلين
Kurdistan.
والنصر والحرية للشعب الفلسطيني.
We wish
التي يبديها الشعب الفلسطيني
victory for
وسط
the Palestinian
عشرات
people,
السنوات
the
لأجل
release
استعادة حقوقه المشروعة ونضاله ضد كل أشكال
all
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
aggression
I'm interrupting.
imposed on it.
I'm so sorry. Maybe you can talk a little slowly because interpreters need to follow your speech. Thank you.
تمام. تمهل بالرسالة.
احكي شوي بس.
تمام. طبعا نحن في تنسيقية كردستان
We are in Kurd.
ونستنكر المجازر التي يرتكبها الاحتلال الإسرائيلي.
We condemn what is happening in Gaza and the massacre that the Israeli occupation is committing in Palestine. This is a genocide. It's ethnic cleansing occupation. We all know that there are tens of human rights organizations and movements that
عندما يصبح الموضوع لصالح الهيمنة الدولية فإننا نرى بأن هناك
to save the killing of the
وإدانة
people around the
كون
world,
القانون
but
الدولي
we
يجب
can
ألا
find
يتجزأ لصالح القوى
these institutions have
في حرب غزة شكلت انتكاسة
double standards and it's
تصور
all
قانوني
controlled by
استثناء إسرائيل
the
إن
international
ذلك
powers.
أسقط كل الثقة الشعبية والجماهيرية بالمؤسسات الدولية
We can find that we have an international law.
التي أسست أساسا للدفاع وحماية
All of the agreements, the conventions and the international law
وهو
is
أن
not standing with the oppressed.
في الشرق
We need
الأوسط
to say that there are two very important
قضيتان فلن
causes
تنتهي الحرب في الشرق
in
أبدا ولن ينعم الشرق
MENA region. It's the Kurd issue cause and the
فالذين
Palestinian
سببوا إشكالية في القضيتان الكردية والفلسطينية هم نفس القوى ولا يريدون حل هاتين القضيتين لأنهم أسسوا نظامهم على حساب القضيتين
the
الكردية
causes
والفلسطينية
find that national system
لا
was built on joining
ولهذا السبب
causes.
يعملون على افتعال كل المشاكل. طبعا هذه الأنظمة
And this is why they don't want to solve these crises. And this is how the international system works. It needs conflicts in order for them to be able to control the peoples. But we, the people and the women, are the victims of what is happening. We have to stand against the patriarchal mentality, which is the main reason of the double standard. These conflicts are based on race, are based on religion.
فإنه يكثف ويزيد من عدوانه وهجومه الغير محدود من أجل الحفاظ على تسلطه وحكمه. لذا علينا نحن أن نتحد في وجه كافة أشكال الاحتلال والإبادة أينما حلت دون تمييز وعنصرية. كما أريد الذكر أن في نفس التوقيت الذي هاجم الاحتلال الإسرائيلي الاحتلال التركي على مناطق شمال وشرق سوريا واستهدف البنية التحتية من محطات الكهرباء
I am so sorry. So sorry, I'm interrupting again. We have a problem in interpretation. English is working now, right?
فيني كمل؟
رفيقتي بنجوين احنا معانا لكل متداخل بس 3 دقائق. اخذتي وقتك. شكرا رفيقه بنجوين. احنا لكل متداخل بس 3 دقائق. شكرا رفيقه بنجوين. بنعطي هلا للرفيقه مارياني إيبل.
Dear Abir, we need to check interpretation again because we have a technical
أبير في مشكلة
problem.
بالترجمة بس.
Yeah. Now I am going to English booth. I am checking again. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Dear interpreters, can you hear me? interpreters.
Now I can hear you. This is Miahed.
Yes, this is Victoria. I can hear you.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
I'll take over.
أرجو الالتزام بالوقت لكل متداخلة 3 دقائق حتى نعطي فرصة لأكثر
Dear
عدد من
comrades,
المتضامنات يتحدثوا. شكرا رفيقات. تفضلي رفيقة مريان.
we have to commit to 3 minutes of speaking.
Can you hear me, please? Bonjour. Those participants are writing them in Spanish. But it sometimes is a problem,
Ça
but
marche?
now it's good, as I understand, right? Good, good.
عبير في الأثناء اقرأي تشات بوكس في
Abir,
خطأ.
please read the chat box. There's a news from
Précédent.
I
Et
am
c'est
going-
clair que
I'm
Netanyahu-
going
First of all, thank you for all the interventions. It has been said.
Désolée, Marianne. I'm going into French booth. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? And I am going into Arabic booth. Can you hear me? Can you hear? Good. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Now it's good. Interpretation is done. Yeah.
Voilà.
please.
Et donc, j'aimerais reprendre une proposition qui a été énoncée tout
Good.
à l'heure.
So I would like to retake a proposal.
D'organiser une marche
أقترح شيئا
pour la paix, pour le cessez-le-feu immédiat, pour l'autodétermination du peuple palestinien et pour la paix et l'arrêt des guerres dans le monde entier. Je pense que si la marche mondiale peut jouer ce rôle-là, malgré toutes les divisions qu'on voit.
Creo que la marcha mundial tiene que romper con todas las divisiones. Por eso creo que el secretariado internacional, que es el que nos puede ayudar, creo que tiene que escribir
Call, a very short and brief call, in order to ask all of the members of the World March of Women. We are 67 now in this meeting, so there are we represent a great deal of people. So maybe we could hold a webinar at the beginning of the year to have a brainstorming of ideas of places where the marches could could be carried out. And I think that would be a big step towards our goal of expressing our solidarity with the Palestinian women, men, and children who die and whose country, whose land is being destroyed before our eyes. That is all. Thank you.
شكرا رفيقتي مريانا، شكرا على تضامنك
Thank you, Comrade Mariana, for your solidarity. We give the floor to Comrade Awaisha from Algeria. Please speak slowly for 3 minutes so the interpreters can interpret. Thank you, Awaish. Comrade Awaisha, please open your mic. Yes. Thank you for Comrade Abir. Thank you and greetings for all our comrades who are here in this webinar. And I specify the Palestinian comrades. And I don't want to to repeat because I adopt everything that was said from the beginning, from all the comments from the beginning, and especially the two speakers, the main two speakers. I adopt everything they said. I just want to assure and support the proposal, the actual proposal of Mrs. Rashida from Tunis, who proposed to have a huge protest around the world, to which will end in taking this occupation entity to court. And this is how we end it. And I adopt for sure everything Comrade said. I don't want to repeat, but I want to ask to bring this occupation for court. And I support the proposal of our Tunisian comrade. And I have another proposal. From 2 days, I met a Palestinian comrade in a radio station in Algeria. We spoke about the struggle and the repression that they are facing, not only hunger, sickness, and genocide, but also basic things that we can actually solve. For example, as our Palestinian comrade gave us an example for the Gazan women who drink the pills to have her period, so she doesn't need any, who takes pills so to stop her period because she cannot have any things. This is a shame on humanity, on us, that also the children who are wounded have worms coming out of their wounds. This all is happening when we are in the third millennium, and we are next to Palestine. We have no words to describe, because our eyes are all on the TV, and the pictures and images we receive from this genocide. But we have to do something, and I suggest something else which is practical, which is to create a feminist front which starts from the World March of Women, and this is an Algerian proposal, an international front for materialistic aid, where sorry
كملي رفيقة، كملي، خلينا نعطي غيرك دور. تفضلي رفيقة.
Please go ahead. Yes, I propose to have an international feminist front to respond to these needs. We have to speak about it in the closest time to have a solution, because we have to reach Rafah and send aids. I heard a Palestinian representative saying this, but this is a practical respond, but for political ideas, this is not enough. Algeria, after Algeria was liberated after 1 century and a half, so Palestine to free itself alone, yes, with the dignity and the will of Palestinians to face its good, but not alone. They should face this imperialistic colonialism. This is a huge belief from us, but we have to see how practically we have to help them. We cannot help them with weapons or to kill, to be dead instead of them, but we can think of a practical aids. And I repeat the proposal of the feminist front, starting from the World March of Women. Thank you, Aweisha, comrade. Thank you for your proposal. Let's write it down, and we go to. Wait, Abir, we want to speak about our comrades from Iraq. Once again, my comrade Nama, we want to give the word for Graciela Lopez, and then our comrade Nabila Hamad. Okay.
Hola a todas. Sí, ahora sí puedo. Bueno,
Hello, everyone. Can I speak? I am part of Latin America. I want to give my greetings and a warm hug to all the women in the march, but especially to the women from the MENA and region and the Palestinian people. Thank you for allowing us to understand your reality, to understand your fights.
في تنتين بترجموا، واحدة تترجم إذا سمحتوا.
Hola.
Hello,
Sí, ¿puedo?
can I speak?
نعم نعم استمري رفيقتي، بس كان في مشكلة بالترجمة، تنين كانوا يترجموا للعربي.
¿Puedo continuar a ver?
Can I speak?
Sí, adelante. Disculpe. Les decía que me parece importante
Okay, I was saying that I think it's very important to have information because, especially in this moment, they haven't policy of misinformation, especially United States, North America, the social media, the different media, the allies. They are not telling the truth. So I think this is our power that we have in order to really understand the truth, the real information from the place. And the women from Latin America, I'm only representing Bolivia, but the women in Latin America, we are certain that we have to support the Palestinian cause from everywhere, from the rivers to the seas. We want to express our profound solidarity. We want to share our efforts against this colonialism. We want to show our strength against imperialism, against colonialism. And I want to say that we fight with you for this Palestinian cause. Thank you very much.
رفيقة جراسلية، شكرا. راح نعطي آخر كلمة لضيق الوقت لأنه لا نملك إلا 10 دقائق من الوقت. راح نعطي
We will give the last word because we only have 10 minutes for Comrade Nabila, and then the last word will be for Ruba from Palestine, and then we will show
Comrade Ruba from Palestine will talk.
And sorry for those who didn't take time.
Thank you, comrades, and we are sorry that we don't have time to let all the comrades speak. Greetings from Algeria. I'm talking on behalf of all Algerian people, all Algerian women and women who are here today, especially Palestinian women. While you all know that Algeria supports the right of the Palestinian people for its self-determination, I salute Rashida, who said, who talked about what is there in the international law. And I want to say that it's abnormal that we have these international agreements that's supposed to talk about the right of people for their self-determination, for their human rights, while it's stands silent, watching what is happening in Palestine. These contradictions and what the Palestinian people are facing today, all of these international law, we want to say that also the International Court is complicit in what's happening in Palestine. We here from Algeria want to say that we are fully support the Palestinian people. And we are up to any thing that we can do to support the Palestinian people. And we are totally agree with what Comrade Rashida have said and have suggested about the march that we need to organize on the 8th of March in order to talk about and defend the Palestinian people's rights and Palestinian women's rights.
للشعب الفلسطيني ولكل نساء الفلسطينيات وشكرا.
شكرا رفيقة نبيلة.
Thank you, Comrade Nabila.
في آخر كلمة دولية
We need to
معلش احنا يعني معنيين نسمع كل رفيقاتنا. الرفيقة ماريا دولاريس، ماريا دولاريس، تفضلي معك دقيقة رفيقة، احكي لنا الكلمة اللي بتحبيها، تفضلي رفيقة.
We need to welcome Maria, Comrade Maria.
Good morning, my dears. First of all, I want to say that as part of the people in Guatemala, we lived a war for 36 years. We suffered the genocide, so we understand the consequences. We know how terrible it is for this population to live with the consequences of imperialism. We lived that ourselves. We understand the suffering of the resistance. And also, we understand what it is to try to build in the dream of having a different society. And I want to show this ring that Sandra Moral gave me. And I want to say that her spirit is with us in all the solidarity actions that we are having with the Palestinian people. We give you a warm heart from the bottom of our hearts.
شكرا رفيقة ماريا على كلمات.
Thank you, Comrade Maria Dolores, for your solidarity words. And we ask everybody now, the word is for the Palestinian coordination, Ruba. In the beginning, I would like to say in the name of the Palestinian coordination of the World March of Women for everything. I would like to thank you all for all the words you shared, for supporting us, and who believes in the justice of the Palestinian cause. I will not add anything because our comrade Rula put us in the image and shared everything that is happening in Palestine. We ask you all, we thank you all for the condemnation of all the crimes committed by the Israelis against the civilians in Gaza and in the West Bank and all the Palestine from the river to the sea. And this is what the march gathered us for in their view and vision and everything in accomplishing dignity and justice for all women around the world. The crimes, the escalation of crimes of the occupation in front of the world with the military support from these imperialistic countries, starting with the U.S., beginning with the U.S., which is happening in front of all of the world, and this is just a cover for this occupation, and they are supporting this genocide against the Palestinians and the Palestinian women everywhere. So in our name of the Palestinian coordinators in Palestine for the World March of Women, we want to expose the crimes of this aggression, the Israeli aggression, in a coalition with all of the women and feminist unions all around the world. And we ask all feminists and women around the world to pressure their governments, on the people, and to stop this aggression immediately and to cease fire. And we assure and reassure on all your messages and your comments that made here, which makes the name of the World March of Women greater. So this role, your role is very effective, as all the free people in the world is doing, and you are free people in the world, whether in the protest that was in all the capitals of the world, to stand against these crimes, and the campaigns on the social media, which had a huge effect to expose these crimes and to pressure on the governments. We ask you to continue this work as a form of resistance. And we, as the World March of Women, have to know our role of boycott for these corporates that supports this occupation. We have to boycott. In the end, I want to allow me to assure on our role as Palestinians, on all the women in the world. Your role is amazing. I would like to thank you, and it shows that it is very important to practice our political role, and how our role as women affects the policies and the politics. And it's time to end this occupation. It's time to stop this aggression, the continuous aggression and crimes and suffering that we are facing, the women and the people of Palestine is facing. Thank you, Comrade Ruba. At the end, we would like to say, long live the resistance, long live the Palestinian struggle, and freedom until victory. And we hope for the liberation of Palestine from the river to the sea. We thank all of you. We thank your voices, your loud voices, your solidarity, your high solidarity. And please continue it. And we know that you will always continue your solidarity, and we will continue until the liberation of Palestine. Our Comrade Maria will show us a video for boycott, so we can continue boycotting and break the economy of this imperialistic occupation that supports all of this. Our comrade Nama, I spoke saying, Abir, I spoke to you about Iraq. 1 second, Maria. Marie, please, 1 second for the video. Please, very fast, Nama. Okay, I wanted to announce for the comrades who are here on the local international level that in Iraq, our comrade Marwa is in the streets. Our comrades are in the streets, and they are facing military attacks. And I want to announce this now, that it's happening right now in Iraq. Thank you, Rafiqa Naama. Thank you, Comrade Naama. We express our solidarity with our comrades in Iraq, and we express our solidarity with every nation that is facing imperialism. Comrade Marie, please show the video.
Yes, sir.
Military check. Our comrades in Iraq are facing military check. Okay. Audio, Marie, please.
The sound, Marie. Sorry, Marie, there is a problem.
Yes, it's good now.
شكرا كثير لحضوركم رفيقاتي.
Thank you all for attending, our comrades. Long live your struggle, your solidarity, and your efforts, and long live our march. And thank you all. Greetings to all.
Solidarité avec les femmes du monde entier.
Solidarité
avec les femmes
du monde entier.
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
تحياتي.
شكرا رفيقات.
شكرا.
شكرا للسكرتارية، شكرا لماريا، شكرا لويبينار، شكرا ليلدز، شكرا كثير لكل جهودكم. شكرا لكم رفيقاتي.
Thank you. She's thanking everybody with everybody.
أمريكا اللاتينية.
Thank you for everybody who attended from Latin America, from Africa, from our region. Thank you for everybody. And special thanks to Maria and Binar.
And interpreters, thank you.
Thank you for someone remembering the interpreters.
Thank you, everyone. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
I am ending the webinar. Thank you.